Today I fucked up by repeatedly shooting my boss in the head. This happened a few days ago. Went paintballing with my office colleagues as an end-of-year celebration. In a game, I ran to the edge of the arena hoping to flank the other team. Two people on the other team had the same idea, and we found ourselves in a standoff behind some wooden cover. I shot the first person quickly, and they called their hit and went away. It was then between me and one other guy. I am going to call him Dave. Instead of wearing a full helmet, Dave wore only a mask which left the rear and top side of his head uncovered. Unluckily for him, the top of head was visible to me through a slit in his wooden cover. I considered for a moment what to do. Do I shoot him in the head and cause immense pain and agony? Do I wait for a shot against a more protected part of his body? In the end I thought I only need to shoot him once for him and I to be on our way. And by wearing a mask and not a helmet, he full well knew what could happen. So I steadied my aim and shot him through the gap in the wood clean onto the top of his head. I heard a scream, "Ah, you bastard!" But he didn't call the hit. He didn't even move from his position. So I shouted, "Call your hit," but he didn't respond. I am sure he heard me because I saw his head turn slightly when I spoke, but he didn't call his hit. So I shot him again. And again. And again. In the exact same spot on the top of his head. With each shot he let out a grunt, but did not call his hit. It was kind of satisfying actually, seeing the paintballs explode on the top of his head. At this point his head is a yellow-red paintballing mess, but yet he still does not call his hit. Eventually a marshal comes nearby and I tell him that he does not call his hit, but as you can see that he is covered in paint. The marshal tells me to shoot him once more to see it for himself. So right through that slit in the wood, I shoot him in the exact same spot on the top of his head. He doesn't call his hit and the marshal pulls him out and escorts him away. I then see him after the game, crying his eyes out holding a bag of frozen peas against his head walking toward the car park. Turns out it was my line manager. My boss. I'm not sure whether to tell him it was me that shot him after the Christmas holidays. TLR repeatedly shot someone in the head with a paintball gun, causing them lots of pain, and then found out it was my boss. EDIT1. Did not expect this post to blow up. To those of you worried that I did serious damage to him, he is mostly fine I think. He has a sore head and was quite embarrassed from crying in front of his staff. It was your basic rent to the public paintball gun that did not possess any real dangerous power behind it. Though getting shot in the exact same spot over and over probably increased the pain quite a bit. Now some have said he will recognize my voice. I didn't think about that. Fuck. I am sure my voice from within a paintball helmet at a distance from behind some cover was heard. But probably not super recognizable given the circumstances. I don't think he really got a good look at me either, so I think I am in the clear. To be sure, I just checked my calendar for the coming workweek and can see my boss has scheduled a meeting for everyone that attended the paintball event. Depending on how that goes, I may post a further update in the near future. It's better for the both of you if he doesn't find out lol. I see no reason to tell him, and a lot of reasons not to. If someone else tells him, and/or he asks, I wouldn't lie. But it's a game. No reason to make a big deal out of it, or bring it up after the fact. I'm a former referee from a paintball field and ex-tournament baller. You did everything you were supposed to and people need to follow the rules better to prevent getting bonus balled like this. I was seriously concerned when I read the title. I really like how the ref was like one more time to prove it. Dude already had paint all over his head, the ref just wanted to see his pain lol. This is fucking hilarious. I'm dying just imagining the paft. Why won't this fucker give up? Paft. To the dome of his head and it's his fucking boss? Oh my god. Ha ha ha. Today I fucked up by jerking off the night before Christmas. Today is Christmas and last night, I was talking to a friend over Snapchat. Her and I were sending snaps back and forth, and she was showing a lot of cleavage. She loves to tease me because she knows I get sexually frustrated but I'm too shy to initiate sex with anyone. In my selfies she could definitely tell how flustered I was. I know this because she started sending stuff like, "You seem like there's something you want to tell me," winking face, while showing a bunch of cleavage. It's been well over a year since we'd done anything this, and a while since I jerked off in general. I survived NNN and hadn't jerked off all of December up until last night. Her cleavage alone looked so beautiful, I just couldn't resist anymore, and she kept nudging me, So I politely asked to see them, and this led to us sending nudes back and forth while masturbating. This ends in me sending a video of myself nutting with the sound on. Now when I nut, a lot of cum shoots out, especially if I've been edged this long. All my focus was on making a good video and the orgasm itself, so of course I made a bit of a mess. This usually isn't a problem because I do my own laundry. But, me, being a horny idiot, forgot what night it was. It was Christmas Eve. Now, some family lore. I am the oldest of all my siblings. It's tradition in our family that we all wear the matching pajamas that our mother brings us the night before Christmas. I was wearing the pajamas. This morning I opened presents alongside my parents and younger siblings, while there are visible cum stains on my brand new Christmas pajama shirt. I have no idea if any of them noticed. Too long did not read. My friend kept teasing me over Snapchat. I couldn't resist anymore, and we started sending each other nudes. I took a video of me nutting so she could watch. Got cum stains on the Christmas pajamas my mom bought for me. The next day is Christmas and I couldn't change my outfit because I had to match with my siblings. This morning I opened presents with my family while having visible cum stains on my brand new pajama shirt. As a guy, and someone who was once young, I know we can be dense as fuck about these things, so I'll state it plainly. I think she might react positively if you ask her to go on a date. Your friend might want to be more than just a friend. Friends? Sounds like a very good friendship lol. Why didn't you wash it off in the sink and hang dry it for the morning? Lol. Couple of lessons learned here. 1. She likes what she sees when you masturbate. 2. You are not afraid to masturbate in front of her. 3. Conundrum. If you're not afraid to masturbate in front of her, why are you afraid to ask her out? Side note. Is spilling coffee on yourself seems too painful to cover the stain, try orange juice. Have fun, good luck. Very disappointed this post didn't start with, "'Twas the night before Christmas." Today I fucked up by telling my 5-yo he could play his game. Too long did not read. Told kid he could play his fake Switch game and he actually stuck it inside the cartridge port. I was on the can, and my 5-yo opens the door and shows me his Switch game he made. Looked pretty good to me. He cut a piece of cardboard about the right size and then cut a picture of something and glued it on top of the cardboard. I tell him good job, now close the door and let me finish. Few minutes later he comes back asking if he could play his new game. Me, thinking this is cute, tell him to go ahead, thinking he going to pretend play. Bad idea. As I'm washing my hands I hear him yell out, "Dad, it won't play." I'm like what? And then quickly realize that he put the cardboard in the cartridge port for the Switch. I'm cracking up cause this is like a 5-yo to think it would work or something. I grab a pair of tweezers to pull it out, but it's jammed in there. Takes me a minute to work it out and all seems good. Nope. He wants to play a game so I put a real one in and the Switch says it can't read the cartridge. WTF. Grab another game, and same thing. I take it out and shins a flashlight inside and see that a pin is bent. I drop a few curse words. Wife asks if it's fucked and I tell her maybe. Kiddo is sad and wifey consoles him. I take apart tons of stuff, so I grab my tools. FYI parents, check out iFixit for teardown and repair guides for tons of electronics. I pull up the Switch guide for the cartridge board replacement and get down to taking this thing apart to see if I can fix it. I finally pull the board out and then am able to bend the 2 pins back into place. Put it back together and test it and it works. Saved Christmas. Took about an hour to take apart and put back together. I tell kiddo that only games go into the Switch and that mom or dad have to do it for him from now on. Lesson learned for both of us. No more unsupervised gaming for him and no more nonsensical authorizations from me. Glad you were able to fix it. They always wait until you're on the toilet to ambush you with these kinds of questions. I swear it's some kind of evolutionary instinct. The number of time I have yelled out to my kid to wait. Don't touch anything. With my pants around my ankles is too damn high. I once put toast in a VHS player. Broke the VHS player and didn't get any toast. Creepypasta. The game loads. My younger brother, also like 5-yo then, once ruined 2 game discs of mine by trying to ram a disc inside Wii console while there was already one inside. Both discs got scratched to unreadability. One of them I didn't really mind but the other was Animal Crossing which I was playing a lot back then. Suddenly no more. That hurt. I like that your wife consoles him. Did the kid get the pun too? Today I fucked up. I didn't listen to my gut and let a supposedly celibate dude ruin my Christmas Eve. You never really know how crazy someone is until you spend a night in town with them. So I wasn't going to write this because I didn't want to get him in trouble. He works in a super religious environment and I'm pretty sure he's not supposed to use any hookup app, even for shits and giggles. Well, he uses one and that's how we met. Thankfully I'm safe and not rotting away in some foreign jail cell. But I very well could be, on Christmas Day no less, had someone caught us. Last night, a self-described thrill-seeker offered to show me his favorite spots in the city. What I didn't know was that he wanted me to feel him up, fondle his crotch, clothed, in public areas when no one was looking. Okay, some alarm bells did go off a little, but I figured he was super hot and though a little awkward. He would be good company as long as I didn't end up alone in a private space with him where he could chop me up into little pieces. I should have listened to my gut. At first I was okay with fondling his package, discreetly around fountains and plazas. But then, he took me to a very dark place. I found myself in the middle of a very holy square surrounded by Filipino and French tourists, faithfuls, accompanied by my thrill-seeker friend, looking at the Jumbotron screen while secretly fondling my guide's package. He loved that shit. I, on the other hand, felt very uncomfortable. I'm by no means religious, but I didn't feel it was appropriate at that time and in that space. On top of it all, every inch of that square was probably covered by CCTV. I did not want to be caught erotically stimulating a member of their organization and end up in holy jail on Christmas Eve. So I asked him to take me elsewhere. I really don't know how he got so riled up with just fondling. When we emerged from the subway, his boner had already declared itself. He took me on a stroll down a deserted avenue by a park where large-scale red lobster statues dotted the sidewalk in a cow parade-esque fashion. He made me stop at one statue and asked me to stand next to it, holding my hands up to imitate the lobster claws. That's when he pulled out his wiener. I mean, I knew what he was doing and what was going to happen. But the absurdity of the entire night, culminating in that instant of public jacking, felt like an out-of-body experience. So I just looked in awe. In just a couple strokes he finished. He squirted on me. Some spurts landed on the lobster. I freaked. Not because of his cum. Under different circumstances I would have loved it. But we were in public and he finished to a red lobster. I just said I can't. And I left him there with his dick out. I didn't even stay long enough to see him put his dick back where it belonged. I don't know why I was so angry on my walk back, but I was. I'm less upset now. I just envisioned a better Christmas Eve on my little getaway, not a threesome with a red lobster. Too long did not read. I agreed to go on a city tour with a self-described thrill-seeker and ended in a threesome finish with a very religious man and a red lobster. If a very religious man, who is supposed to be celibate, offers to give you a tour of the city in exchange for some naughty fun, just say no. Merry Christmas. Only he finished? Sounds like he was pretty shellfish. Some alarm bells went off, but they were hot so. Famous last words across humanity lol. WTAF did I just read II? Honestly, I have to question the sanity of someone who goes off with someone like that, ignoring all the alarm bells. Wow, that's clawful. You again. Maybe you end up posting here so often because you make really stupid decisions. Or make shit up.